Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today we're going to try out and do a wear test of the new Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder. And I do have this in shade 3. This is what the compact looks like. It also has a spatula that sits really nicely like this. I already dug into the product. A good chunk of it is gone. This was for first impression swatches that I posted on TikTok and Instagram today. And before I go into the product, actually, I'm gonna think out loud here and just see how I want to demonstrate this product for you guys and then test it throughout the day. But before we go into that, because this is such a new and innovative product that we haven't seen anything quite like it in the industry, I think it's worth it to read the description on the website. If you guys have seen multiple videos of people demoing, testing this, you probably want to skip over. This is going to probably be like 2 minutes long and get right into the demo. But for those who are learning about this product for the first time, or you're just, checking it out for the first time, I'll read off of the website here. It's described as a groundbreaking balm to powder formula powered by Swedish super ingredient Upsalite. And I watched Glam Girl Chelsea's video on this. She received this product as PR from Danessa Myricks, and so she kind of went into depth about what Upsalite is, this chemical compound. And Upsalite is a compound that absorbs your oil and holds it in place until you remove it in the evening. So this product is very much designed to give you oil control. And it also has hyaluronic acid, so it also helps promote skin hydration. So it's kind of best of both worlds. As you produce oil throughout the day, it's going to absorb the excess, hold it in there, but it's not going to dry your skin out. And the other parts of this description says its cutting edge technology balances sebum and reduces oil throughout the day for a natural clean glow. So this sounds like a natural finish to the product. This petal-like texture feels like a balm, but sets like a powder for a long-lasting shine-free look. All right. Upsalite balances and absorbs excess sebum and sweat while maintaining skin's hydration. Olive-derived squalane known to balance oil production and diminish visible signs of aging. So there's some skin benefits in the long term in this product as well with the squalane. And hyaluronic acid promotes skin's hydration. There are a plethora of ways to use this. You can use it to prime. So I did not purchase the universal shade, but if you want to use this to prime, you can use a universal shade or a tinted shade by tap and blend with your fingers to prime lids or your complexion. You can also use it to highlight and contour, and it depends on the shade. Using a tinted shade at least 2 shades lighter or deeper than your skin tone, apply with fingers or a brush to brighten and sculpt. To set foundation, using a universal or tinted shade, tap on fingers or a dense brush to set complexion. I'm very interested in trying that. And then to add sheer coverage, using a tinted shade, press and roll in an even layer into textured or oily areas. To set and add coverage, using a tinted shade, press and roll through the T-zone and tap to build additional coverage where needed. So I am interested in using this by itself, standalone, to see how much coverage I would get and to see what that oil control is like when I'm not actually going to even set it. I think because it's supposed to finish like a powder, I'm not going to use any powder on top of that, but I will use it alone to see how much coverage I get and how it wears throughout the day. So I wonder if I should do, half the side of my face where I'm just using this product, and then the other half I'm using it to set like my foundation. So I think we'll do that. I do have some errands to run, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be that obvious that one side of my face has more coverage than the other. I don't think people will care. I'm gonna do that just for this demonstration. We're here anyways. So let me use the right side of my face to just apply this product, and we'll see how it goes. When I did do the swatch for my TikTok and Instagram, I used a lot of product. I dug in way more than I intended to, because you can see the bottom of this. It did take quite a while to really get that powdered finish. So I'm going to go light today and just add on coverage as it's suggested from that description. And you guys can see it is creamy, but the motion of scooping it out, it really gives you a sense of that powder-like texture it described. And I'll put it onto the back of my hand. But I basically kind of smushed it. You can see the creamy texture from that. It's really interesting, the texture. And then now I'm going to go in with this Refer brush. This is brush number 31. I'm going to apply it to the right side of my face as if it's a foundation. And interestingly, it's giving me some coverage here, but it's quite light. So before I go in for another layer, I just want to come a little bit closer to show you guys. The right side of my face does look noticeably smoother, redness under the nose, right along here, and the chin. You can see that's been blurred and concealed. So this actually looks really nice. And I'm still tempted to just leave the right side of my face as is. Not set it, not do anything. Wait a little bit until I apply blush and things like that. You can see some kind of discoloration here that's not covered. Let me go back in a little bit and see if we can build some more coverage. That's about the same. I don't think I can continue to build more coverage. I'd get a lot of product on. It might start feeling thick. But right now, I think it's a good balance. It's pretty subtle and it is skin-like in finish. Now let me go to the other side. I'll apply some of my regular foundation and then we'll actually use the product to set the foundation. I've used my regular foundation on the left side and put on Danessa Myricks product to set it. I'll come a little bit closer and you can probably tell that the left side has more coverage than the right side. Both sides skin-like finish because the blurring balm powder is also skin-like in finish. I'm going to leave it as is to give it time to set. And the right side, which I apply the product on first, is just a little bit tacky. Not much product came off on my fingers, but I think it still needs some time. So I'm gonna move on to eyeshadow and then we'll check in before I do the rest of my makeup, like blush, highlighter, etc. And for eyeshadow today, I'm going to use Chanel's Du Sel et Sonia. This quad here, really pretty. I think it matches my dress, so let's get on to that. My eye makeup is finished and let's do a quick check here. I think the right side is still about the same in terms of tackiness, and because on my left side I have the extra layer foundation underneath, it still feels pretty emollient and tacky to the touch. You can see product has transferred way more on the left side than the right. So I'm really not sure about this product being used to set foundation. I think people wear foundation out and not set it anyway. Some people don't like doing that and they don't mind it. But for me, I just don't like that tackiness. From experience, it just transfers easier, and it's not like I'm about to change after this. I'm actually gonna just wear this out. but I know if I accidentally, you know, brush my hand, fingers over my face, or I don't know, if it just like touched the seatbelt as I'm leaving or something along those lines, it's just there's gonna be a lot more transfer than if I were to go ahead and just set it with loose setting powder. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set actually my entire face with loose setting powder, and I wanna see how well it lasts. I will say, so far, I'm actually pretty impressed with the product's light coverage overall, because on the right side of my face, I would not be upset going out like this. It depends if the product oxidizes or how it oxidizes throughout the day, but even the studio lighting makes everything look a little bit more forgiving. But as I look in my vanity, yes, I don't have as much coverage and I can see more blemish, and it's a little bit less smooth than the side with the extra foundation layer, but this still looks really nice. And if I were to think of this purely as like a tinted balm foundation with, you know, blurring effects and oil control, depending on how the oil control happens or how strong it remains throughout the day, this could be a really great kind of like a tinted foundation for me. But let me set this with loose setting powder, then we'll come back for the rest of the look. For blush, I'm using Tom Ford's Eclat Nude. I'm going to go into this deeper shade here and just build some dimension into the cheeks. Then we'll go into the brighter shade. For lips, I'm taking Victoria Beckham's Twist in her Posh lipstick line. For highlighter, I'm taking Lisa Eldridge's Elevated Glow in Crystal Nebula. So my makeup is done. I want to come a little bit closer for the last time before we do any check-ins throughout the day, just to see how everything has settled with loose powder placed on top. I think the right side still looks really good with just the balm on it, and we'll see how it goes throughout the day, but I think we're gonna find that, or I'm probably gonna like this as a tinted foundation more than anything else. Sure, it does give you added coverage, because on this side it's my foundation that I use normally, Westman Atelier, with the balm added on, and it does give you that added coverage, but I was hoping it would perhaps set my foundation because it is a powder finish, and I didn't feel that way. After waiting for 15 minutes, it was still pretty tacky to the touch. You guys saw those product transferring onto my finger. So we'll leave it like this, and then I'll come back through various check-ins throughout the day and we'll see how it wears. This is the 1 hour check-in. I'll come closer here. Both sides look like they're the same as they were an hour ago. I know my skin produced some oil in the past hour, but nothing has really come through or broken anything up that's noteworthy. I also took some photos outside to show you guys what the product looks like in daylight. Shade number 3 is a great fit for me. I'm light to medium skin tone, and I continue to be amazed at the coverage I'm getting on my right side just wearing the balm powder. I know I've said this a few times before we did the check-ins or this first check-in, but I just think it's a really great tinted foundation. It's just so easy. So yes, I continue to be amazed. Left side looks a bit more flawless and blurred because I do have a layer of foundation on. I'll see you guys at about the 4 or 5 hour mark. This is the 5 hour check-in, and I did go for a prenatal massage. While I didn't lie face down, I was on my side, both left and right during the appointment. I definitely fell asleep, and just based on that alone, everything looks pretty intact. You couldn't tell that my face was smushed against the pillow for any amount of time. And so I can tell that some oils have come through, but I don't feel like I need to do any kind of touch-up. The product all over except these two areas here, like particularly this side, is again intact. It's broken up here, but I do want to note that I do have a blemish that's raised, and so product probably doesn't sit as nicely on top of that area. And then the foundation that I have on, I think is not helping the balm kind of stay on. And the balm is actually not helping the situation either, but I don't think it's making it worse because on my right side, I don't have nearly the same situation or issue. In fact, I would say it's hanging on. It's really pulled together still. The other thing I want to look at is the dryness or dry areas on my face. Because this product does absorb oil, I'm curious to see if it's making my dry areas drier because of that. And namely, it's going to be right here. And I can see this side with just the balm looks drier. It also feels that way as well than this side. I mean, they're both dry, but this one is a little bit more exasperated. And I do think if you are somebody with dry skin or really dry skin, this product may not be as suitable, or you may not be able to wear this alone. I think it should be mixed with some kind of hydrating primer or foundation. But I really do think this has great oil absorbing, oil control qualities to it, because this looks great. So this is the 5-hour check-in. I'm gonna come back for a last check-in at the end of the night, and we'll see how everything is sitting then. This is my final check-in. It's been 9 hours since I completed this makeup look. I did do some touch-ups before sitting down again. I put on more lipstick, I did have dinner, and then I went back in with a finger. So you see product here, and I dabbed this area because some of it came off from dinner, and I didn't even set it, but it really adequately covered up that red area and blended really nicely with whatever product I have on my face. I would say, while it doesn't look, neither side looks as fresh as it did when I first completed this look, or even at the 1 hour or 5-hour check-in, it's still very much intact. I've got more product that's that's really broken apart now, but this side is still minimal. So I do think that blemish here is making the product difficult to stay together, and that is no fault of the balms. Let's see, if we go through the checklist of things that this product can do from the product description, I would say certainly it can be especially if you use the universal shade, it can be a primer. It can also be, if you use a tinted shade, it can do that as well if that's what you want, because it does an excellent job at absorbing oil and just preventing excess oil. If it was without the product and just my foundation, I think we would see way more oil come through on the left side for sure. It certainly does boost coverage of your foundation, whether you wear it underneath or on top of the foundation, and you can wear it alone. The right side is where I only have the balm on. I think it still looks really great. This is going to be my go-to tinted foundation or light sheer foundation. I'm just really impressed with that. I would not use it to set foundation because that tackiness I mentioned early on, it very much was still there after 15 minutes. So I definitely will be setting my foundation regardless of whether I have this balm underneath the foundation or on top. If I'm wearing it alone, I can probably get away without setting it, but I do prefer just no tackiness, so likely I'm going to set it as well. Depending on how you prefer to wear your foundation and whether you set it or not, I think that is up to you. It just depends on what you're used to. And then in terms of oxidization, I think it really pretty much stayed true to color. I think oxidization definitely happens severely or quickly when the oils really do come through, and because there's a lot of oil control in the product, I think that's really extended the longevity of the wear. I also think it extended the longevity of my foundation on the left side. So overall, really good product. It's not scented, but I do smell chemical smells. It's not pungent, it's not unpleasant, and the moment you put it on, it's kind of disappeared already. But if you were to put this up to your nose, you can definitely smell it. And finally, I would say it's probably not for people with really dry skin, even though it has squalane and hyaluronic acid. I just think it doesn't do any favors to like these areas here. Have not gone worse, but they certainly have not changed or improved. So if you do happen to have dry skin, this might not work out in the same way for you as it did for somebody with normal skin, combination skin, or oily skin. In fact, I think this product might be really great for people with oily skin, again, just because of the oil control and the ability for Upsalite to absorb excess oil. Well, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of this product below. I think it's really exciting that we got something new that we haven't seen before, and I'm really glad I got this to try for you. See you again in the next one. I am ready for bed. I'm ready to take this off. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.